Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Kent State Ice Arena. My name is Alex Rivera, and I am joined by my partner, Fisher Brashear, bringing you this D3 matchup here tonight between the visiting West Virginia Mountaineers and your Kent State Golden Flashes. Kent State coming into this one bearing a record of 6-4-2, while the Mountaineers are coming in at 5-4. And Fisher, for you, who are you looking at for the Flashes to be an impact player tonight?
I've got defenseman number 20, Angel Nikolov. Since we've done this D3 commentary, the first game I remember was an 8-3 win for the Flashes against Ohio State, and he caught my eye immediately. He's, I believe, the tallest player on the team, and also just as a defenseman, him getting up in the play, scored 2 goals that game. He was just electric all night, and I think he's crucial to the forecheck of Kent State, playing within the defensive zone and offensive zone as well, winning pucks back, obviously with a big physical body as well.
Absolutely. He is a player that he brings that physical presence, as you said, that big physical body, but he's an all-around, well-rounded player. He's on that defensive back line, but he really steps up from that blue line when they get in the offensive zone, and he is a dangerous offensive threat, as we've seen time and time again.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, okay.
The last game I remember calling, I had a lot of stuff about defensemen need to crash into the offensive zone down to the dots. He does that very well from what I remember from that, specifically the Ohio State game. But just like you said, a well-rounded defenseman.
Absolutely. For me, Fisher, I got to go with number 3, Max Quinn. He's rocking 8 points in 8 games this season, and he's just an all-around, another offensive player, you know, a veteran leader on this team, and he really gets in there, and he just makes his presence known in front of the net, and he can score goals. Like I said, 8 points in 8 games. Point per game pace there. Can't ask for much more.
Yeah.
And as their players make their way to the ice, as starting lineups get to be announced here. For the West Virginia Mountaineers, starting line tonight, it's going to be number 10, Jack Perrin, number 98, Anthony Katana, number 96, Joey Katana, number 65, Carson Martin, number 42, Ryan Anderson. And in between the pipes for the Mountaineers tonight, it's going to be number 33, Hayden Dirk. For your Kent State Golden Flashes tonight, starting at the forwards, number 23, Cullen McDermott. Number 10, Jackson Gillespie. Number 5, Alessio Simpson. Man in the defensive side for the Flash is going to be number 20, Angel Nikolov, one of our players to watch tonight, and number 19, Quentin Garnett. And in between the pipes for the Kent State Golden Flashes will be number 30, Victor Willock. We're going to take a brief intermission as they play the national anthem here in the stadium, and we'll be back with the game action. Stay with us, folks. Puck drop just moments away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking with us as they play that national anthem here in the arena. So we are just moments away from puck drop here tonight. And Fisher, what are your keys to victory for the Flashes? What do they need to do to get the job done tonight?
I think kind of like what I said when we commented last game with defensemen getting into the offensive zone more and not just sticking at the point. I think, like I highlighted with Nikolov, I think he does it very well. I think they need to crash the dots, kind of even crash the crease, really find themselves in the slot, in the offensive zone, and really try to, for one, get some good shots away, but also just keep West Virginia in their own zone.
And going off of what you're saying, Fisher, crashing the crease, but also being in the right place at the right time. We see a lot of these times the Flashes get deep and getting these shots on net, and there's a lot of errant rebounds, at least in that last game we called a lot of rebounds, but the Flashes just weren't there to clean up those rebounds. Positioning is huge tonight. As the starting lines make their way onto the ice, players banging the sticks against the benches, and you know what time it is. Puck is down, and we are underway here at the Kent State Ice Arena, with possession being one of the Flashes early as they dump it in the West Virginia zone deep. Katana picks this one up in his own zone. He can do just enough to clear it, get it up to his brother. Now spinning back in his own zone is Anderson. Anderson gonna play it over to Katana, but turned over there as the Flashes skating hard for possession. Garnett battling for this puck along the boards. Katana trying to keep it in with the hand pass there. The Flashes break out into the neutral zone. West Virginia quickly on that one, and they're gonna take it all the way back into their own zone. Perrin, he's gonna play it over to his man, that is Martin. Big collision there in the West Virginia zone with player down. Puck loose, one-on-one shot, and they score! Flashes up early off the stick of number 22, Joey Donahue. Getting the Flashes on the board just seconds into this one. With 19-18 left in the first period, your Flashes with an early lead. Big collision there in the zone that led over to that turnover.
Great, well done by Donahue. Fantastic, just waiting for the puck, just capitalizing on mistakes, the big collision there, and then absolutely roofing it on the kind of even half breakaway there. Nice patience shown, wait for the goaltender to go down, put it right above the stick. Just a great finish, and what a start for the Flashes. I think that was another thing that they had to do, get a quick start to this game, and they have.
Absolutely. Exactly the start the Flashes were looking for is Anderson here for the Mountaineers being helped off the bench. Hope everything is all right with him. That was a huge collision there that kind of led to that turnover for the Flashes to capitalize. And Anderson being helped off by the trainers. Hope everything is okay with him. Speedy recovery for him. Hopefully he can get back into this one tonight.
Of course. You never want to see a player get hurt.
Brief delay there helping Anderson off the ice as we are ready to get back to the action now. The Flashes with an early one-goal lead. Looking to see if they can capitalize off the momentum of that last goal. Off the faceoff now. Skating hard. Donahue buzzing after that last goal. He's going to just try to battle for this puck here. He's tied up with a man. Donahue going to play to Fryer. Fryer skating behind the net here of Dirk. Fryer skating to the top of the point here. He's going to play a pass over for Outley. Outley going to skate to the dot. Outley looking for a centering pass. Chipped ahead by Quinn. He gets a shot off. Blocker saved there by Dirk, and he'll cover that one up for our first stoppage of the game with 18:55 left to play in that first period.
I like the start from the Flashes. I think just not giving up on plays, waiting for new loose pucks, finding them and getting great scoring chances. That's how the goal came, and that's how that good shot attempt just came as well. So I really like this start.
And as we were saying, too, right on that shot attempt, too, that was number 3, Max Quinn, right in there, making his presence known, trying to force the issue right in front of the crease there of Dirk. So love to see it from here early. Now skating hard with this one is Snyder. Snyder going to get it deep into the Kent State zone now. Mountaineers looking to respond here. Battle for this puck behind the net of Willock. Chipped along the boards here. West Virginia still looking to maintain possession. Snyder just going to play it back down low, but finds a stick of Fryer instead. Fryer going to play one over to Emmerling. Emmerling going to try to skate here out of his own zone with some speed. He loses the puck, but Van Sickle going to clean this one up for his teammate. Van Sickle's pass doesn't make it out of the zone. Flash is just trying to clear here. Garnett going to play one along the far boards, looking to chip it ahead to Donahue. Mountaineers will dump it in deep once again. Flashes finally clear that zone. Played back in the neutral zone to Napoli. Mountaineers going to dump this one in on the net of Willock. Easy save for him. Flashes try to clear their zone, going for that pass through the neutral zone. Race here for the puck for the icing. Dirk just chips this one away as that puck trickled into the blue paint. Good break there for the Mountaineers. Flashes will get possession here in the neutral zone. Going to play it up head. Zanola just going to chip a pass ahead for Croson. Croson back to Zanola. Zanola with the shot. Is saved there by Dirk off his shoulder pad. Flash is still in the offensive zone, however. Can't control this one. Just chipped ahead there by the Mountaineers. Nikolov picks it up, and he's dangerous. But all the way to the stick of Napoli here. West Virginia just trying to clear their zone. Flashes get it in deep once again. Napoli, first man back to retrieve this puck. Flash is going for a line change. Mountaineers regrouping. Katana just picking this one up now. He's trying to skate. He turns the puck over in the neutral zone. And Outley just dumps this one in deep into the far corner there for the Flashes. Looking for his team to go to work. Lazarov trying to get this one to Emmerling along the boards here. He takes a tumble. Napoli just going to chip it up against the boards. Lesteshin, he tries a pass into the neutral zone and tipped into the benches, so we will get a stoppage in play here. Fisher, what do you like from the Flashes game here so far?
I really like the forecheck and almost like I said, not letting them get out of their own zone. There was a little scary moment when West Virginia kind of had all the offensive zone time, but since that moment, it's been all Flashes, and I think this is the perfect start to this game. Getting the early goal and then keeping that pressure on and not letting off the pressure just because you have the lead now. You always want to push to get another goal. For me, in sports, no lead is ever a safe lead, but getting the first goal and then showing that intent to get forward and get more aggressive in this game is very good.
I agree, Fisher, absolutely. It's the Flashes with possession of this puck deep into their own zone. Timmons just going to turn away from some pressure and take it behind Willock's net. Flashes can't clear here. West Virginia with an early shot there. Willock just going to scoop that one up, and he'll get us another stoppage here as Flash is going to get a line change. So this puck will be staying in the Kent State zone. Looks like the ref's going to draw this one up to the right of Victor Willock here. Puck is down, one back to the Flashes nicely there. Flashes looking to break out of their own zone and get something going the other way now. Finding that puck there for a second was Simpson, but Martin there to stick check him. Puck sweeps just out the West Virginia zone. Emmerling just going to rifle it in deep here. Martin, first man back for the Mountaineers. He's going to try to play a pass over. Intercepted there momentarily by the Flashes. West Virginia breaking out, going the other way now. Mountaineers just going to dump that one in deep. Skate off for a line change. Flashes looking to recover possession here. Gillespie trying to chip this one along the boards. Good hit there in the corner by the Flashes. Nice job by Garnett there. Using the body, trying to force some West Virginia players off the puck here. This puck still being battled for in the corner, swung around behind the net now. Mountaineers looking to switch the ice here. Flashes, some long shifts here in their defensive zone, just trying to get this puck out and get this puck going the other way. Mountaineers haven't had it often in the Kent State zone, but when they do, get some sustained pressure. Flashes can't let it build. Shot there, nice save by Willock. Off the rebound, another save by Willock. Another point blank save there by Victor Willock. He made 3 in a row there. Good to get him going in this game.
Very
Looking sharp
good
here tonight.
triple save even from Willock, and it's needed as well. You get after that, you clear the puck. You might have been able to get a couple of bodies off the ice and get some fresh bodies on. Great save, looking sharp here early from Willock, which is another crucial thing for the Flashes.
It's Fryer now racing in with some speed in the offensive zone. Centering pass there. Dirk there kicks that one away. Mountaineers pick this one up, get going the other way now. Court says he's going to just take a shot on Willock just outside the zone, and Willock just going to cover this one up as the Mountaineers skating hard there to the net. We'll get a stoppage and play with 14:47 left to play in this first period.
That was a needed stoppage. I was kind of wishing that Victor Willock covered the puck there, but it's one of those where you spend a lot of time in your own zone there, and you don't want to see that as a Flashes fan, but also just sorry.
Don't know if that caught that hot mic there.
Anyway, as I was saying, it's
West Virginia player not too happy with their performance to start this one, as that shot's just going to get gloved up there by Willock, and we'll get another stoppage in the Kent State zone.
like I was saying. Sorry. I think that's also a good sign, though. The Flash is clearly frustrating West Virginia early on. But, you know, I think the Flash is, in the defensive zone at least, I think they need to tone it down a little bit. You know, not every clearance has to be a shot for a breakaway. I think you can just, soft dump it in and not have to force an icing or anything like that, and just be able to change on the fly and play simple defensive hockey, I think.
I like that, Fisher. Simple defensive zone strategy there. I think the Flash is going to kind of tone it down, as you said, and I think that would benefit them greatly. So they're working hard in their own zone now. West Virginia still threatening, trying to dump it in deep, but off the defense of the Flashes here. Puck just kind of trickling it around in the neutral zone, picked up by Katana. He's just going to dump it in deep. Willock going to play this one with his stick behind his own net here. Kept in there by Dwyer there. Plays it along the boards behind the net of Willock. Flashes send it around the boards again, but can't clear. Martin at the top of the point. He takes a shot, makes its way, sticked away there by Willock. Nice save by him once again through some traffic there. Mountaineers still threatening, really generating offensive pressure here. Katana with the shot there, gets deflected. Never sees the net of Willock there. Flashes, long shift here, just looking to clear. Zanola going to tie this one up along the boards, looking for some help from his teammates here. Big pile up here along the boards. Mountaineers come out with possession. Katana plays it over to Martin. Martin from top of the point, another shot, nice save there by Willock using the body there. And the puck goes out of the zone, into the neutral zone. Still controlled here by West Virginia. Another shot there by Katana outside the zone. Saved by Willock once again. Flashes chip it off the boards here and into the zone. Quinn trying to race hard for the Flashes. His chance turned away quickly. And this puck trickles all the way back into the Kent State zone. Van Sickle, first man back. He plays it up ice for Emmerling. Puck kind of bouncing around in the neutral zone now. Players battling for possession. Big hit there in the neutral zone by Fryer. Sits a man down. Flashes with possession. Quinn skates in hard. It's Quinn behind the net now. He's going to go look for an option here. His pass is broken up off the skate there of a West Virginia defender. Controlled now by, that is number 9, William Shannon. He's going to slow it down. Shannon, he turns that puck over to Fryer. Fryer centering pass for Emmerling. He takes a shot saved there by Dirk as he catches that one off his own deflection. And we'll get a stoppage and play, keeping this puck in the West Virginia zone with 12:24 left to play in this first period. Both teams skating off for a line change, getting some fresh bodies on the ice here for this upcoming shift.
Yeah, for the past maybe 3 minutes, I'd say, it's been more basically all West Virginia, exact opposite of what we got to start the game. But the Flashes have done well defensively. You know, there's been the moments of, like, you know, errant clearances and not being able to get it out, but also just consistency of not letting anyone get in front of Victor Willock and not letting shots get through. And then when they do get through, Victor Willock able to make a couple good saves, especially that triple save earlier. So they haven't played bad at all. They've got the lead, you know, and they've been very good offensively. But even when they're in their own zone and you feel like they're on the back foot, it seems like they do have it under control.
Absolutely. The Flashes in possession now in the offensive zone. Nikolov going to take a shot from the point. Saved there by Dirk. Rebound attempt. Gillespie can't finish that one. Big hit there by Simpson behind the net here. Removing Shannon from the puck. Simpson picks this puck up. He's going to chip it ahead. Shot from the point from Garnett. His shot goes wide there off the deflection. Shannon just trying to clear here, and he does. Clears that puck into the neutral zone. Kept in by Nikolov. He's going to try to send it back in, but picked up here by the Mountaineers. Perrin skating in hard. Backhanded chance there. Easily gloved up by Victor Willock. He's going to hold that one for another stoppage in play as both teams get another line change here. And as you were saying, Fisher, kind of before that last little bit of action there, Victor Willock has looked sharp tonight here early on. As you said, a lot of those shots, Flash is doing a good job of keeping them from coming before they ever see his net. But when they do get to his net, he's kind of working through some traffic, and he's made some great saves so far. Really using the stick so far early in this one.
Yes, he's been very sharp, shown by the triple save, as we've mentioned a couple times now. But also just, you know, he seems very calm as a goaltender, which is probably the best thing you can get out of a goaltender. He seems so under control. Got into the game early as well, which is also good, so you get that feel of the puck early on.
As you were saying, we've seen him in a couple different games now early on in the season with some D1 action and then some D3 action here later in the season, and he's a calm and composed goaltender. That's one thing he does very well. As the Flashes skate into the offensive zone, Outley keeps it in at the blue line. He skates into the dots now. He's getting this puck low, looking for that centering pass, deflected off a skate, and now Casacola now skating the other way. He's going to play one up ahead to Snyder. Snyder going to just dump it in deep. Willock controls this one behind his net, leaves it for his teammate there. The Mountaineers quickly on the attack once again now. Skating hard for this one is Dwyer. He's going to play a pass up to Martin. Martin going to go cross ice here looking for Katana. His shot's deflected behind the net of Willock now. Mountaineers still threatening Martin at the top of the blue line. Back tape to tape to Katana. Katana with another shot off the glove there of Willock. Rebound controlled by the Mountaineers. Once again, they are threatening here, really building up some pressure. Flashes just looking for an answer in the defensive zone, and they do clear here. Long shift there as the Flashes going for a quick change. West Virginia trying to take advantage. Katana trying to skate in. Nice job there by the Flashes defense, but Martin keeps it in just at the blue line, tiptoeing that blue line. He's going to play a pass down low. Goes behind the net of Willock, centering attempt there. Another save there, point blank by Willock. Katana trying to keep this one at the blue line, and he does. Flashes having a hard time settling this puck down. Katana at the blue line. Another shot there off the skate there of, I believe that is Timmons. Yes, off the skate of Timmons there. He goes for a check on a man there in the corner. Flashes player takes a tumble in the corner boards here. Flashes having a long shift in the defensive zone here. Mountaineers top of the point, that is Glowacki. He loses possession now. The Flashes finally get breaking the other way here. And they're going to get an offsides call here, shutting down that offensive rush for the Flashes. And with 9:33 left to play in this first period, this puck will be coming right outside the West Virginia zone.
I was watching that whole West Virginia offensive sequence there, and I think one of the main things I saw from the Flash defensively is not letting anyone get in front of Victor Willock. You had two defenders just in the box, in the slot, doing very well done, not allowing anyone to get in front of the net. And with how many point shots that West Virginia seems to be taking this game, I think that is crucial.
That's a nice breakaway move there from the Mountaineers. Nice save there by Victor Willock. As Bazarov going to skate this one into the neutral zone at the red line, just going to dump it in deep. Flashes looking to go to work, get some offensive pressure of their own here. Controlled deep behind his net by Shannon. Shannon, he's poke checked away. Possession recovered there. McNamara skating hard. He just had that breakaway attempt there for the Mountaineers. Big pile up along the benches here. Bazarov skates out with possession. Tough angle shot there. Turned away by Dirk. Shannon battling with Bazarov now. Ruggles going to just chip that one to himself almost. Going to try to tie it up into the corner boards now as that doesn't work. Bazarov along the boards chips it up to McDermott. Possession is lost there. And now Mountaineers just going to play it deep into the Kent State zone. First man back is Strutt. Strutt now going cross ice, looking for his man, and they connect there. He finds Emmerling. Emmerling going to try to chip it in deep, but turned away by the Mountaineers quickly. It's now Napoli going to control it in his own zone. He's got some space to work with now, and Perrin going to dump it in deep at the red line. Willock way well behind his crease. Turnover there. Shot attempt. What a defensive effort there from the Flashes. Almost disaster there for the Flashes. Willock did not see that extra West Virginia player there. But luckily, his teammates were there to shut that down. Perrin takes a tumble to the ice now. Now skating hard with this one is McDermott. He's going to turn and let a shot go deflected. Off the skate of Napoli. Top of the point for Nikolov now. Flashes looking to generate something here. McDermott, tough angle shot, looking for that deflection. Just wide of the net there. Down low for Gillespie now. Gillespie's going to turn and let one go. And Dirk just going to cover up this rebound. We'll get another stoppage in play with 7:41 left to play in the first period.
I'd just like to say what a shift by Jackson Gillespie of the Flashes. He had that crucial defensive intervention there. Big hit at center ice, and then had the shot on goal to force this offensive zone faceoff. Just a Iron Man shift, if you will.
Yeah, getting it done on all phases of the game there. Excellent job by him. As he takes this faceoff now and wins it back for the Flashes. His shift just getting better and better here. Plays it down low for Simpson. Gillespie now to the rescue here. He leaves it for Simpson. Simpson skating hard behind the net. Skates it out of the dot here. Top of the point for Timmons. Timmons just going to play it in deep. Looking for Gillespie to win this one, and he does. Plays it up the boards to Simpson. Back up top for Timmons. His shot attempt goes wide of the net there. It kind of fans off his stick a little bit. Gillespie skating hard for that one. Now West Virginia looking to get out of their own zone, but they cannot. Timmons keeps it in. Nice job by him. Gillespie fans on that one, and now Martin going to skate it out of his own zone here. Looking to build something for the Mountaineers. But Timmons, he picks this puck up in his own zone, plays it over to Outley. Outley just going to try to play it ahead to the neutral zone, but deflected there. Still bouncing around the Kent State zone as they get this one out. Now skating up in the play. Here comes Allen. Allen going to take a shot. His shot's deflected. Down low there. Cross-ice attempt there. Just through the blue plane of Willock, but crisis averted there for the Flashes. Once again, nobody home for the Mountaineers. Flashes playing this one up deep into the Kent State, or the West Virginia zone, excuse me. Simpson, first man to that puck. He's got his man Croson there with him. So Nolan now plays it around behind the net here. Katana just going to try to play this up the boards here for Snyder. Flashes trying to keep it in. Katana lays a big hit there in front of his own bench. Flashes get this puck deep once again. Shannon now looking to make a move here behind his own net, trying to pick a direction. He's going to go ahead and play this pass up for his man Dwyer. Dwyer with a nasty move there across the red line and dumps that puck in deep. Flashes will easily take possession here. Nice job by Geyer to get that puck out of his own zone. This puck kind of bounces around here. Curtis trying to make a move. Nothing there for him. Now picked up by Lestishin here. Lestishin now going to take it himself. He's into the offensive zone for the Mountaineers. It's poke checked away there by the Kent State defense. Flash is starting to do a better job on the defensive end here as they skate into the offensive zone. Now Donahue, he's got the first one tonight. He tries to play it along the boards here. Nothing there for him. Breaking out of their own zone. Looking for Lestishin there. The Flashes dump it in deep once again. Mountaineers can't get it going here. Tied up in the far corner here. Donahue's tied up. He's getting some help here from Fryer. Now picking this puck up is Valenti. Valenti going to play it around the ice here. Looking for Glowacki here. Glowacki going to try to play it up to Lestishin here. Now they are in Valenti in the Kent State zone now. Nice job there by the Flashes to shut down that rush. Now they look to break out and go the other way. Puck bouncing around the neutral zone. Napoli first man there for the Mountaineers. Flash is going to take this one behind their own net here and looking to skate out here. Nice job there by the Flashes. Really settling this puck down and try to sustain some pressure here as they look to get up the ice. Turnover there in the neutral zone. Flashes just trying to get going the other way. Nice hit there by Nikolov. Using that physical presence that we talked about before the game. Shuts a man down there. Flashes looking to just skate out of their own zone here. Now they're going to really slow this one down behind the net. Timmons going to try to play it up the boards. Kept at the blue line by Martin for West Virginia. Trying to play it to McNamara. He's going to skate off here for a change. He's going to exchange with Perrin. Puck now tied up in the corner of the Kent State zone. A lot of time spent in the Kent State zone here late in this first period.
But I think the key to that is still having that maturity in the zone and just calmness and confidence. We saw Nikolov lay a big hit there. I questioned on whether, and West Virginia players questioned on whether it was a cross-check. To me, it certainly looked like it. But, you know, some don't get called, others do. But like I've said this entire first period, it's just calmness in the defensive zone, not making any stupid mistakes, not not letting any loose pucks go errant and fall to West Virginia. It's still just the fact of like you got to clear the zone, and you can't be having these 2-3 minute shifts in your defensive zone.
Absolutely. There's an offside call there for the Flashes with 3:52 left to play in this first period. And as you're saying, Fisher, seems like the Mountaineers have had some good chances and definitely a lot of offensive zone time, but, score still 1-0. So Flash is doing enough to just, to survive here, not letting one up yet, partially due to the play of Victor Willock and their defensive efforts here, but got to work a little harder here to get that puck in the offensive zone.
Yeah, because like I said, right after the Flash's goal was scored and then how they had that offensive zone time right after, to me, no lead is safe in any sport, and especially if you're going to be playing like how the Flashes are with, constant puck in your own zone and stuff like that. So you'd like to see them kind of maybe in the second period or in the last 3:20 left in this period, you'd like to see them really take it to West Virginia, get those offensive zone chances.
Absolutely. Is Katana going to clear his own zone? Now Flashes going to go back to their own zone here, and that puck's going to get called for an icing. So be coming right back to the West Virginia zone here for an offensive zone faceoff for the Flashes, which they so desperately need. Looks like faceoff now coming to the left of Dirk here. Flashes looking to set up their guys here. Looks like the ref, last minute change here, going to move it to the right of Dirk. Last minute decision there by the referee. Croson at the dot for the Flashes. He wins this one back to Strutt. Strutt tries the shot off the skate of Pearson there. Played up ahead in the neutral zone. Flashes regroup in center ice and dumped in deep there off the stick of Van Sickle. Katana now behind his own net. He's going to play a pass up. He's trying to connect with Snyder, but instead that one is picked up by his man Casacola. As Casacola gets it in deep, Willock turns that one away behind his own net here. Flash is just looking to clear. Chipped in there at the top of the blue line. West Virginia now keeping this one in deep into the Flash's zone here. Flash is looking to get something going, coordinated attack up the ice here. Another turnover there picked up by the Mountaineers. Nice save there by Willock. Well, stinking the post there. It sounds like he made that initial one, but
it certainly sounded like it, but it also did look like Willock got a touch to the puck as well.
Yeah. Shannon now slowing this one down in the neutral zone, back into his own zone now. Shannon looking for an option up the ice. That puck is deflected into the Kent State bench, and we'll get another stoppage here with 2:17 left to play in this first period. Like referee's going to bring this one back to the center dot now. We will get another face-off here as this first period winds down here. Puck is down, one back to the Flashes. Chipped ahead to Donahue. Donahue now skating in for the Flashes. He's trying to start it up here. Donahue behind the net of Dirk. Back up top to Nikolov at the blue line. Nikolov with the shot there deflected before it ever sees Dirk. Fryer now skating hard for this puck. Fryer picks this puck up, goes cross ice, looking for Nikolov. Nikolov going to take his time here, spin away from a defender and play it to Timmons. Timmons going down low for Quinn. Quinn battling hard for this puck, and he wins it. Keeps it in the offensive zone for the Flashes. Fryer looking for that reverse hit to get possession of the puck, and he wins it. Fryer now, puck back on his stick, over to Quinn. Tough angle shot there. Dirk lets that one go, plays it back to his teammate Shannon. Shannon now trying to get it going. He gets it up to Snyder. Now Snyder hits the red line. Tries to get it in deep, and he does, but it goes onto the net of Willock here, and he'll just cover this one up. Snyder was skating hard there for that puck. So this puck staying in the Kent State zone as both teams are going to get a line change here. And with 1:29 left to play in this first period, Flashes, started off really hot in this one, early goal, and, kind of lapsing a little bit, nothing to show for it for West Virginia, but Flash is definitely, probably not thrilled with how they've been playing up to this point. Definitely want to see some more offensive chances from them.
It's not they won't be thrilled about it, in my opinion. I think they have played well. It's just I don't really think playing well in the defensive zone when you've capitalized on bouncing pucks in the offensive zone. So they've been playing well. It's just I'd much rather, and I think anyone would also much rather have a team play well in the offensive zone and score a lot of goals compared to having a 1-goal lead in the first period and then playing really well defensively, but also just there's the risk factor added to it of pucks on net, one is nearly bound to go in. So you are taking a little bit of risk there.
Absolutely, Fisher. I think that's a perfect way to describe how, up to this point, that's a great summary of the action. As both teams going to skate off for a line chase as Willock gloves that one up. And just 42.2 seconds left here to play.
There's definitely positives to take.
Yeah.
If you keep playing like this defensively and, having the puck in your defensive zone all the time, and you're this solid defensively, it's fine. It's just you'd like to see them get another goal or another even chance at this rate, because it feels like every chance that the Flashes has been a half chance.
Nice job there by Willock off that deflection there. Close chance there for the Mountaineers, and now skating hard for this puck is Geyer. Geyer going to play it in deep behind the net of Dirk here. 25 seconds left to play in this one. Zanola between his legs up to Croson. Shot there off the stick of Strutt. That shot goes wide. Katana tries to win this one out of the zone, and he does. Flash is going to chip it in deep again. Looking to go back to work as the seconds wind down here. Geyer picks his puck up. Geyer centering pass there. All the way to the blue line for Strutt. That shot deflected out in front, wide of the net there at Dirk. 5 seconds left here to play. Strutt, another shot from the blue line, gloved up by Dirk, and he'll hold this one with 2.4 seconds left to play in the first period. Good shift there by the Flashes to end off this first period.
Yeah, a great way to end it off, and exactly what you want to see in the final two shifts of the period. I think it reminds West Virginia that, the Flashes can be dangerous in the offensive zone. I like the pucks on net. I'm always going to say that. So, solid, almost final shift for the Flashes.
As this puck will pretty much just be dropped. 2 seconds left, tied up off the draw. It's a collision of players there to the center dot. And that'll take us to the end of the first period with your score 1-0 in favor of the Kent State Golden Flashes.
I'd like to quickly highlight, I love the decision to pull Victor Willock with the last 2.4 seconds just to maybe try and get a chance. It's unlikely, but I do like the call and, just the intent there.
Absolutely. Flashes taking a 1-goal lead into this first intermission. And as we were saying, a little bit lapse at times in the defensive zone, but, a simple defensive strategy from the Flashes, just trying to, not let the pressure, get sustained from the Mountaineers. Mountaineers doing a good job of just, keeping that puck in at the blue line, kind of shutting down those clearing attempts from the Flashes. So Flashes just looking to break out of their zone a little bit more, and I think, they'll have some great success.
Yeah, I think other than that, they've been very good.
Yeah.
The few chances they've had, they took the first one they got, and then the other ones have been good chances. Nothing like a clear scoring opportunity, but still a good chance that they've had. So I definitely think there's some things you need to clear up. The neutral zone play as well. I think there's no secret that they've struggled in the neutral zone, being able to get past the Mountaineers defense and stuff, but also just got to calm down a little bit, especially in the defensive zone. And I understand that the Mountaineers are forechecking quite a bit, but you just calm it down a little bit, let your players get off, don't force your players into a 1.5-minute, 2-minute long shifts.
Absolutely, Fisher. Well said. As we're going to send this one into the first intermission here, we're going to take a small pause here, and we'll be back with the second period action. Stay with us, folks, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we welcome you back to the Kent State Ice Arena. Going into this second period now, it's your Flashes up 1-0 over the West Virginia Mountaineers. Starting lines making their way onto the ice, so we get ready to resume the action in this one. Puck is down. We are underway with the second period. Possession won by Katana. Good stick check there by Quentin Garnett off that opening draw. West Virginia just going to dump it in off the net of Willock. He turns that one away. Mountaineers looking to go to work. Flashes, nice job to break out of their own zone here. Now skating up with some speed is McDermott. McDermott, he takes a shot there, turned away there by Dirk. McDermott going for that centering pass, nothing there. Onto the net of Dirk. He's just going to hold that one. We'll get an early stoppage here in this one. Good opening shift there from the Flashes, getting in the offensive zone. And most notably, we talked a lot about their defensive effort in the end of that first period. Had a nice breakout there out of their own defensive zone. So turning defense to offense. Love it there from the Flashes just seconds into the second period. As that puck is down, one back to the Flashes again. Shot there, deflected out in front, saved by Dirk. Puck bouncing around out in front of the net. Turned away there by West Virginia as they sweep that one away. Flashes, good opening shift here. Nikolov, he winds one up. He takes a shot. Saved there by Dirk. Now Shannon he's going to turn and try to break out of his own zone for the Mountaineers. He gets it in the neutral zone, but picked up by Nikolov. Nikolov trying to get to the red line. As he floats that one, but it finds a stick with the West Virginia Mountaineers instead. And Nikolov just going to send it in deep now around the boards. Nikolov and the Mountaineers just trading possession here. Now Mountaineers going to slow it down in their own zone. Turnover there by the Mountaineers, but picked up nicely there as another turnover here. Neither team can really control the puck here early as the Flashes get a shot there deflected out in front. Timmons at the top of the blue line. He's going to send it in deep. Looking for Donahue to win this one behind the net. He takes a tumble to the ice there. Right back up to win that puck. Played all the way along the boards here. Timmons going to turn and try a shot there. Kind of bounced off his stick there as it's kind of bouncing around in front of the net there of Dirk. As Mountaineers just push that one out as Timmons sends it right back in deep into the West Virginia zone. Love it here from the Flashes early. Keeping the foot on the gas here. So now this puck cleared by the Mountaineers but sent the length of the ice, but it goes into the blue paint there of Willock now. So Flashes having to work quickly. Mountaineers going for a quick change here. Flashes trying to take advantage. Dumped back there by Fryer. Now picked up by Simpson. He takes a tumble. That was Geyer on that one. Deflection, looking for the deflection down low off the stick of Geyer. Nothing there. That puck goes wide of the net. Lestitian now, he's going to try to break out for the Mountaineers. Plays it over to Shannon. Shannon's going to play it back to his man, tape to tape, right back to Shannon. Shannon now looking to break out of his own zone. Flashes there, tough at the blue line. But they do clear, the Mountaineers. Van Sickle now off the stick of Strutt there. They don't give it to him, actually, excuse me. So we'll be going right back into the Kent State zone here on an icing call with 17:35 left to play in the second period.
Going back to what you said a whole 2 minutes ago, I thought it was a good start for the Golden Flashes. I think, getting that puck on net and then once again just throwing pucks into uncomfortable areas for West Virginia. I like the start again, but still, it's only 3 minutes, not even, into the second period. You'd like to see a lot more control and kind of almost a similar start, which you have, but also, like we talked about a little bit during the intermission, no team has really had a premium chance yet, and you'd like to see the Flashes get one of those because they have all the pieces there. It's just some of the passes, a little errant, not being able to get into the zone. So it's the small things that they can get, and I think those premium chances will come.
Absolutely. As Strutt now trying to break out of his own zone behind his own net there. Mountaineers applying the pressure here. Top of the point, Napoli lets a shot go. His shot's wide of the net there. Now racing hard for this puck is Kostursis. Now picking this one up is Emmerling behind his own net. He's going to play it up to Geyer. Geyer trying to get out of his own zone. Now the Flashes do clear, but into center ice here. It's going to go all the way back into the West Virginia zone. No icing, so Flash is going to go for the change here. Picked off there by Gillespie. He's going to skate in. 3-on-2 chance here for the Flashes. Quick shot there, turned away there by Dirk. Good chance there for the Flashes. The puck deflected out of play, and we'll get a stoppage in the West Virginia zone.
I think that's one of those first premium chances. You got a 3-on-1, 3-on-2 there, and just it was the pass. You just think if that pass is tape to tape, he's got a one-timer, and dare I say, a wide-open net, just because of how Dirk had to slide over. But still a good chance. Still a great shot. We had a great angle of it up here, and it's a good save.
It looked promising.
Yeah,
from up
it
here.
looked very promising. It's just that the pass was just not tape to tape good enough to get a one-timer opportunity. Therefore, you have to settle down the puck, allow Dirk to slide over. So, once again, a really good chance for the Flashes. I think that's the first time we can confidently say that since the goal.
Absolutely. So now the Mountaineers going to try some offensive of their own here, but Gillespie picks this one up here, and he gets it out of the Flashes zone. Gillespie hits the red line, and he dumps it in deep, looking to go to work. Here come the Flashes. Simpson, he's shot on net, is turned away by Dirk. Picked up there by the Mountaineers. Mountaineers now going the other way there. Katana trying to spinning pass there to get in the offensive zone. Nothing there for them. So now Simpson picks it up at the red line, trying to dump it in deep. Can't get it deep into the zone now as Katana picks it up. He's got the red line. He's got the blue line into the offensive zone. He makes a move, splits two defenders. His shot. Nice save there by Willock. Rebound bouncing around. What a save there by Victor Willock off his glove. Katana made a nice move splitting the defense, but Willock shuts him down. So now Fryer going to try to skate in now. His shot deflected, but Quinn picks it up. He takes a shot deflected by Dirk. Quinn picks this one up. Centering pass there with the shot. Deflected out in front. Puck bouncing around there, and Dirk going to absorb that one. Excellent. Another look there for the Flashes, but Dirk standing strong.
Yes, and I think we've started to see in the first 5 minutes the game opening up a little bit. You saw the breakaway chance off a very nice move for West Virginia, but once again, a really good save by Victor Willock. And then just then you see two quality chances for the Flashes just on the rebound and then the first shot. So you've seen this start to open up in the last 2 minutes or so with better chances for each team. You'd like to see the Flashes, once again, calm it down a little bit, not allow stuff like that to happen. So, but great start to the second period for both teams as well.
Absolutely, as the Mountaineers now back in their own zone now, slowing this one down a little bit. Snyder, he's just going to drop one back there, looking for his team to set up possession now. Turnover there as the Flashes in the neutral zone get the red line and just going to dump it in deep. It's a few Flashes skate off for a change here. Mountaineers battling hard for this puck in their own zone. Picked up there nicely by the Flashes behind the net of Dirk here. Looking for that centering pass there. Tightly checked here from both teams. Top of the point is Timmons. He's going to let a shot go, gloved up by Dirk. He'll squeeze that one with 14:29 left to play. Both teams going to skate off for a line change. Looks like they're going to set up this face-off to the left of Dirk. Puck is down. One back by the Flashes. That shot goes wide, wraps all the way around and out of the zone. Flash is going to have to regroup in the neutral zone. That pass rifled across the ice and deflected into the Kent State bench, so we'll get another stoppage just seconds after that first stoppage. This one will be set up just outside the West Virginia zone. Going to bring it back to neutral ice. So refs having a little discussion. Looks like they're explaining something to the West Virginia bench here. Looks like West Virginia's coach is good. Refs are good. So now they're going to bring this puck to the Golden Flashes zone. I'm not really sure about that, Fisher. Oh, nope. I think they had their wires cross the refs. Not on the same page, so just outside the Golden Flash zone. I'm very confused why that puck.
For a second I saw him point to the dot, and I was like,
Yeah, he was in the Golden Flashes zone.
I was like, right. I mean, last time I checked, that puck went into the Golden Flashes bench.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, I was just saying, couldn't be any further from where the puck actually went.
Flashes win possession off that face-off. Can't clear it out.
Just a little confusing.
Yeah. Geyer, he gets the red line. Has his pocket pick there as West Virginia now skating hard for this one. Shot there by Dwyer. Rebound bouncing around in front of the net there. West Virginia turned to fire. Another shot off the stick of Dwyer. Slowed down by Croson. He's going to try to play one into the neutral zone for Zanola. But that puck off his stick now. And in his own zone is Napoli. No touch there from the Mountaineers in the neutral zone. So we'll get an icing whistle here. This puck will be sending its way down to the Mountaineers zone. Looks like this puck is going to be set up to the right of Hayden Dirk here. Puck is down. One back to the Mountaineers for a split second there, but Flash is battling hard for possession. Mountaineers do just enough to get it out there. Dwyer tries a pass there, broken up off the stick of Nikolov. Taking a tumble to the ice is Emmerling. Puck bouncing around in the neutral zone now. Nikolov trying to win this one through a crowd of defenders here. Puck still bouncing around here. Curtis picks this one up for the Mountaineers. He's skating hard. He's checked tightly by Garnett. Nice job by him. Good work by him on the back check there. As Ruggles picks this one up, breaking out of his own zone. Ruggles building up some speed. He gets the red line. He's turns that one over. Now Nikolov in his own zone just chips one ahead, looking for Garnett to win this one, and he does. Garnett loses possession. This puck, either team having a hard time really, controlling the puck and, putting some passes together. It's now West Virginia Katana skating in. Nice stick check there off the stick of a Flash defender and up and out of play. So we'll get a stoppage here with 12:58 left to play in the second period.
Like you just said, no team really able to control the puck specifically in the neutral zone. And just that's not allowing for any chances for either team, which on one point, good for the Flashes. You got a goal lead, anything to not let West Virginia get a chance. But like I've kept saying throughout the whole broadcast is just I'm not comfortable with the one goal lead personally. So it's a little tough, but it's positives and negatives.
Simpson trying to make a move there around a couple defenders. Shutting that rush down was Martin for the Mountaineers. This puck now back in the neutral zone possession. One back to the Flashes here. Deflected into the Flashes bench once again, so we'll get another stoppage in play here. And as we said, that you said a few minutes into the second period, the game started to open up in those first 5 minutes. And really after, I feel like you said that, this game has really got
close.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just become very tight checking, very, both teams doing the little things right, winning the battles. And like I said, neither team can really sustain pressure. That's a credit to both teams. It's a tight checking game. So Flash is just going to dump this one in deep behind the net here of Dirk. Martin winning that possession for the Mountaineers now. So they're going to try to slow this puck down a little bit. Valenti now trying to win possession. Timmons at the red line. He tries to play it ahead, and Simpson just going to dump it in deep. Dirk behind his own net now. Slowing this one down for Martin. Martin going to play it up the boards, looking for Valenti to win this one. Flash is still threatening, however. Martin once again with the puck on his stick. He's just going to chip one ahead the boards, looking for McNamara. Flashes rifle it right back into the West Virginia zone. Now Katana behind his own net. Head fake there. Not fooled by that one, are the Golden Flashes. So now he connects with a pass in the neutral zone for Lustig. Lustig skating hard now, waiting for some help from his teammates. Nobody there for the Mountaineers as they went for the line change there. Now Fryer skating behind his own net. Stick check there. One-on-one chance there. Puck off the net there. It looks like they are going to call that one a goal here. It looks like the Mountaineers are back on the board here, making the score 1-1 with 11:38 left to play in this second period. Turnover there. That net came off its post there, but refs are giving it to him. That's going to be off the stick of number 98, Anthony Katana. He's going to even this one up.
It's disappointing, but a very similar goal to what the Flashes scored earlier in this game. Just loose pucks and being able to find them. And usually when it's a puck like that, wide open in the slot, and an offensive player is going to have a great chance. And just like Joey Donahue earlier, absolutely roofed it. So not much you can do about that. Just the loose pucks. And I don't want to say it's been coming for the Flashes because they've been good defensively, but you can't sustain the way they have been playing, specifically in this game, for the whole game, just because you can't have it in your zone for the whole time, as the refs seem to be talking about something. Good goal. I was going to say, if that's what the net moved, I was like, there's nothing now.
Yeah. So Flash is now having to go back to work now as the score is evened up. Flash is going to have to go back to work to build this lead again. Off the face-off puck is deep into the West Virginia zone, but Mountaineers with possession. Shannon now, he stick checked there. Shot attempt goes wide there for the Flashes. Kept in at the blue line by Van Sickle. Van Sickle just going to play it in back deep, looking for his team to go to work. Croson first man there for the Flashes. Puck bouncing around the West Virginia zone. Mountaineers with possession now. Now they're looking to get goal the other way, trying to build some momentum off that last goal to tie this one. Katana behind his net. Centering pass there, and they score. Mountaineers score off the stick of number 8, Levi Lustig. What a centering pass there. Flashes didn't see him, and Lustig just taps that one in, making the score 2-1 in favor of the Mountaineers with 10:58 left to play in the second period, just seconds after their first one.
I was going to comment on momentum in this game right before that goal was scored and right after. Just 2 quick goals. And like I said, you're not going to be able to win games if the puck is consistently in your defensive zone. And, you're going to get tired bodies out there, and you're going to get people who aware surroundings on the ice and stuff like that. So just leaving that guy wide open, kind of like the last goal, is just a recipe for disaster. And as we've commented, though, the Flash is not out of this game. They've been solid tonight. Just you got to get into the offensive zone more. You got to be in this game a little bit more because despite having that 1-goal lead, it's no secret. We both talked about it. Just, Flash has kind of been second best this game, and it has been coming for the Flashes. So plenty to build off of here. You still got half the game left. But at some point you got to really go for it and show intent in the offensive zone and be able to break down this forecheck that West Virginia is putting onto you.
I think the biggest key, too, as you were saying, Fisher, is momentum is huge. And not to let it build for the Flashes against them, They got to do something, an impact play here to kind of win that momentum back in their favor as Quinn tries a shot. His shot's deflected, but Flashes just can't let it amount and, keep building up and let West Virginia control the game.
You got to reassure yourself that and calm yourself down in this game. Nice move by Nikolov, by the way.
He's dancing around some defenders, made 2 West Virginia players run into each other there. So we got a player down in the Kent State zone. It's going to be number 21, Drew Allen. He's got a late hit in the West Virginia zone now. Mountaineers playing after the whistle, but Allen down in the Kent State zone, and he looks to be in some pain. Hope everything is okay with him. Trainer's coming out to look at him, so we'll get a stoppage in play here with 9:47 left to play in the second, and obviously all the attention for number 21, Drew Allen, for the Mountaineers in the Kent State zone now. So you can hear the silence in the arena. Obviously everybody concerned about Allen here. Hope everything's all right with him. So the Flash is going to take this time to, have a little meeting here, regroup on some strategy. Coach giving them a little pep talk here about, what they need to clean up here. As Allen now up under his own power. Good to see him skate off here. Hope everything's all right with him. Hopefully he can get back into this one tonight. Hopefully nothing too serious. It's flashing. Still discussing a little strategy here. So ref's getting ready to bring this one back underway.
I think going back to what you're talking about with momentum,
yeah,
you definitely can't let it pile on. You need to regroup. I think in terms of a stoppage of play, you never want to see a player get hurt, but also to see, Kent State try and draw up a play, just strategize, regroup. I think that is good for Kent State in terms of just getting any sort of stoppage. If it was any stoppage like that, it's good. You get to regroup and stuff like that, but to see a player go down, it's not the stoppage you want, but it is a stoppage nonetheless, and you can tell, like you mentioned, coach giving them some tactics, stuff like that. So I think that's good, and you'd like to see them regroup and really go for it.
Absolutely. Now Flash is trying to build some offensive pressure here. Big hit there by Emmerling. He sits a man down. It's getting a real physical game here after that last stoppage on Allen. Mountaineers a little fired up there, maybe a little ill intent there, thinking the Flashes had some ill intent because definitely that last shift there, since that stoppage, was the most physical shift of the game from both sides. There was big hits laid from both teams.
I know me and you both love a fight.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
If that were to happen, could be a big momentum switch for the Flashes if they were to, quote, win the fight, stuff like that. So something to look out for maybe. Not that it was a dirty play at all earlier due to the injury. It was a clean play and stuff like that. But, something to look after because, we've heard it on this broadcast, a little frustration out of West Virginia, like we heard in the first period.
Yeah.
So maybe something to look out for as we have a...
And Simpson now on a breakaway here. He's tied up. Simpson going for a shot there. Puck is loose down low. Scramble for the puck now. Refs finally blow the whistle here, and we're going to get a scrum right in front of the net here. Dirk skates away, and now they're going at it. Now we got a big, couple headlocks here going. Both teams, some helmets off. both teams. This one is boiling over very, very quickly. Fisher, it seems like you almost just spoke that into existence there, talking about a fight as now both teams, getting separated here. But, for the Flashes, West Virginia's going to up the physicality. In terms of momentum, as you were speaking, have to match it. You can't let them out physical. You can't let them out hustle you.
Kent State so often be such a physical team. I know we highlighted Nikolov before the game. He is their main defensive big body, if you will. Also, very interesting to see what the penalties are. Possibly a hook for West Virginia. It'll definitely be interesting to see because, as you can tell, in on a breakaway and getting almost held from behind. So it'll be interesting to see what the penalties are here, especially after the whole scuffle.
Looks like the first two players in the box for West Virginia, number 9, William Shannon. For the Flashes, number 5, Alessio Simpson. And now it looks like we'll see if anybody else goes here. Refs having a little discussion at the scorer's table. So we'll see what comes of this. And as we were saying, Fisher, just this one boiling over very quickly. We highlighted, that physical shift there, and then, seconds later after we're talking about it, just, the scrum breaks out. So we'll see, what effect that has on the rest of this game, They're slowing this game down now with the stoppage here, but, both teams are definitely a little amped up after that last shift.
But once again, another good opportunity for Kent State to regroup. If they do get something like a power play out of that, it's a good chance for them.
So now refs still having a discussion here, long discussion. Both captains out there, McNamara and Croson respectively, talking to the refs, pleading their sides too.
From our view, it did potentially seem like a hook on the breakaway, which would imply a penalty shot possibly, but also a good power play opportunity. Everyone's gone to the bench here.
Yeah.
And like I said, another good opportunity for Kent State to regroup.
Yeah, long pause here in the action. You got 8:42 left to play in the second period.
Definitely an interesting situation
Yeah.
because you obviously have the scuffle. You have the play before the scuffle happened. So it's interesting. We'll see what comes of it.
Looks like both captains skating back to their bench now, reporting what the refs had to say. As we're hoping to get this one back underway here shortly. It's like West Virginia skating their line out there. Flashes, nobody on the ice just yet. So refs having a discussion with their bench now.
Most notably, 5 skaters on for West Virginia, so it doesn't look like there'll be a penalty there. No matter what, an offensive zone faceoff for the Flashes.
Yeah, nonetheless.
Which could provide a good chance.
Yep.
So it's certainly an interesting situation. I feel like it'll just be 5-on-5 incidentals for the scuffle.
Yeah, that's what it's looking to shape up to be, Fisher. It looks like 5 guys going out there for the Flashes. So, as you said, even drawed penalties here, so we'll stay at, full strength here for both teams. So, interesting to see how the Flashes can capitalize on this offensive zone opportunity here. So that puck now loose in the offensive zone for the Flashes. Napoli wins it for the Mountaineers. He's going to play it back to his man. Going up the ice for Perrin. Now skating back all the way into his zone is Garnett. He's got a guy with him. He wins the race there for an icing. It's a West Virginia player takes a scuffle on that race there. Nothing will come of that as this puck's going to come back into the West Virginia zone. Close race there. Garnett wins that one.
Yep.
West Virginia player takes a tumble. No ill intent there as we'll get a face-off in the West Virginia zone. So another offensive zone opportunity here for the Flash is going to be at the right dot here to the right of Hayden Dirk. See, puck is down now. One back to the Flashes. Quick shot there, and they score! What a shot there by the Golden Flashes, and they tie this one up right off the draw, making the score 2-2 with 8:20 left to play. And that's going to be number 22, Joey Donahue again, his second of the game. Number 22, 2 goals. Just an unbelievable game from him tonight as he ties this one up, and the Flashes even this one up. This has been a boxing match, if you could say.
And it's almost like what we talked about, the stoppages in play, allowing the Flashes to regroup. Then you see great face-off win, quick shot, great goal from the Flashes, really good response from them after those 2 quick goals for West Virginia. And maybe that sees a flip in momentum as well. Maybe you get another quick goal.
Yeah, just an absolutely great game here tonight at the Kent State Ice Arena. This has been a very tightly checked game, a very hard-fought game, very close played. Interested to see how this one finishes up here tonight. Now his puck deep in the West Virginia zone. McNamara trying to get it out of his zone, but he finds Garnett. Garnett takes a shot. His shot goes wide of the net there. Back to the stick of McNamara. He's tied up along the far boards here. Puck not moving here. Puck trickled away in favor of the Flashes. Geyer skating away from some pressure. He takes a shot. That shot up and into the netting there. We'll get another stoppage and play with 7:41 left to play, but puck staying in the offensive zone for the Flashes.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely have regrouped after those 2 very long stoppages and a couple quick ones as well. It's been a revolutionary 5 minutes for the Flashes since those 2 goals from West Virginia, and I think this is what we wanted to see more of. More forechecking, more putting players in the offensive zone, making West Virginia feel uncomfortable in their own zone.
Absolutely. The Flashes win possession again here. Croson deep in the zone now, plays it up top for Timmons. Timmons, it goes back down behind the net here. Croson in the corner now. He's going to try to center a pass there. Turned away there by the West Virginia defense. Trying to keep that one at the blue line are the Flashes, but now they're back into their own zone as that puck hops over the stick there. Now first man back is Timmons. He's going to try to play a pass up the boards to Zanola. He can't control it. West Virginia now in the offensive zone. They take a shot. Shot deflected out in front. Flashes looking for possession, but they do clear the zone now. Possession in favor of the Mountaineers, however. Now skating this one in is Lestitia now. He's just going to try to chip it up ahead deep here. Outley, first man to that puck. He's going to play one up ahead to Zanola. Zanola takes a tumble here. Now puck tied up in the far corner here in the Kent State zone. Both teams battling for possession as the crowd grows. Puck not moving here. No call here from the refs yet. Puck squeaks out in favor of the Mountaineers. Flashes defense promptly on that one as Outley gets that one, and Croson just going to chip it out of his own zone. Back into the neutral zone. Not far enough for an icing, so Flashes will have time to regroup here. Katana now, he's going to lead the charge for the Mountaineers. Cross the red line in the offensive zone. He takes a shot there, and he scores. What a shot there from Joey Katana. Just unloaded the wrister there. He beats Willock, making the score 3-2 in favor of the Mountaineers with 6:21 left to play in the second period.
Just a great shot. I mean, there's not much to it.
Yeah.
But just a great release there. So, unfortunate for the Flashes after such a good 5 minutes. Once again, just got to regroup. And find that momentum back, get it back. You've shown you can. And, you know, nothing you could really do about that shot. Good little half screen from the Golden Flash defender. Willock couldn't see him, and just a perfect shot.
And as we said, this has been a boxing match of a game. You know, both teams trading punches, if you will. And, you know, that was another punch back from the Mountaineers after the Flashes tied up. So how will the Flashes respond? And that's the key to this one, really, is how will the Flashes continue to respond as this game unwinds? It's now puck in the West Virginia zone. McNamara's tied up along his own boards by Ruggles. Now McNamara going to skate out of his own zone, just going to try to chip it along the boards to himself there. But Van Sickle intercepts that puck from him. Van Sickle going to pump the brakes here, going to slow this puck down for the Flashes. Strutt going to play it up along the boards here. Into the neutral zone, however, and West Virginia gains control here. Now on the stick of Cortzis. Centering pass there. Looking for Valenti to win this one, and he's just going to dump it in deep. Van Sickle, first man back for the Flashes. McDermott now chips it along boards. Not enough to clear the zone, however. Gillespie stick checks that one, intercepts that pass in the lane there. Now Ruggles here, loses that puck here. Perrin skating hard now. Garnett now there to give him some assistance. McDermott now. Player loses a stick there. Now Van Sickle going to try to play it up the boards for Ruggles. Napoli at the top of the blue line keeps it in, dumps it in deep. Perrin going to keep that puck moving along. Strutt with possession now. Flashes finally clear the zone there. Nice job there by the Kent State defense to get that puck out of the danger zone. Ruggles there using the body to block that passing attempt there as now West Virginia's forced to retreat into their own zone. Flashes going to get a much-needed line change there. Good shift there from the Flashes. Defensive pressure built up a little bit, but they did enough to get it done and get some fresh guys on the ice. Puck right back into the Kent State zone, however. Quinn's going to just shovel one along to Nikolov. Nikolov now, he's going to play one up ahead for Donahue. Donahue going to get it up to Fryer. Fryer now skating in with some speed. He's poke check there. Fryer going to go looking to get it back to the top of the blue line here as that puck's tied up along the boards here. The Mountaineers break out of their own zone, but Nikolov right there at the blue line waiting for him. Mountaineers back into their own zone. Curtis going to try to chip a pass up ahead. Puck bouncing around the neutral zone now. Garnett going to try to chip it ahead across the ice here. But Curtis now skates in for the Mountaineers. Curtis now skating in behind the net there. Willock. His shot attempt off the back of the net there. Snyder now with possession. He's going to try to send one around the boards. Nikolov picks it up. Nikolov stick check there tightly there. Puck finds the stick of Max Quinn there. Kept in at the blue line by Martin. Now we're going to get an upcoming penalty here on the Flashes. Oh, no, it looks like it's going to be on the Mountaineers. Oh, hand pass on the Mountaineers. Yeah, I was going to say. Thought that
penalty for the Flashes, though, beforehand. That's why you saw the goaltender coming out.
Yeah. I was going to say, stunned to see the whistle there when the Mountaineers touch it, but it was because of that hand pass. But, yeah, Kent State going to go to the box here. So Flashes down 1 goal, going to go to the penalty kill here, and tough break there for the Flashes. And for West Virginia on the power play, comes at a great time for them, looking to add to this lead. So Flashes, this is maybe the most important next 2 minutes of this game up to this point.
It appears I'm wrong.
Oh, no call?
I saw the arm go up.
I seen the arm go up, too.
I saw the arm go up maybe 10, 15 seconds before.
Yeah. Let's see.
On a hit on the boards, too. So I was thinking going on the penalty. And then especially with the goalie pooled.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like they are going to pull.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I thought I saw it.
Yeah.
I was a little confused. I'm like, why is Dirk coming out if there's no penalty? I was going to say.
It's like number 19, Quentin Garnett, going to sit for 2 minutes. So we were right.
Yeah.
It's like Flashes going to the penalty kill. Yeah, unfortunately here. And as we were saying, most important 2 minutes up to this point in this game. For West Virginia, prime chance to add to their lead. And for the Flashes, just looking to fight to stay alive in this one.
Yeah.
Puck to the right of Victor Willock. Lustig at the dot versus Croson. Lustig wins that one back to Snyder. Lustig now going to play it over to Martin. Martin back down low for Lustig. Lustig with a shot. That's deflected out in front by Outley. Nice job by him giving up the body there. Lustig going to try to tie this up the boards here. Going to shovel one to Martin. Back to Snyder now. Snyder back over to Martin at the top of the point. He lets a shot go deflected out in front. Another block there by Outley. Giving up the body here. That's 2 blocks from him. Mountaineers still threatening. Martin now, he's going to skate in. Finds Snyder. Snyder going to let a shot go. His shot goes high of the net of Willock. Martin just does enough to keep it in at the blue line. Back to Snyder now. Snyder going to let another one go. Another save there by Willock. And through traffic, Willock gloves that one. We'll get a stoppage with 3:08 left to play in this second period. Flashes just need to clear the zone here. Good shift there by the Mountaineers, building that offensive pressure. Flashes going to get some fresh guys on the ice here and looking to clear this puck.
I think the key on this penalty kill is stop the cross crease pass, cross zone pass. You can tell how the way they're set up. They're looking for one-timers from the dots. You can't let any of that happen. That forces Willock to go side to side in his crease. And a lot of the time, that's a really tough save for the goaltender to make. So, once again, more disciplined in the defensive zone.
Snyder now, he's got some space. He's going to skate in, fakes his shot there. He's going to turn, and now he's going to get down low in the net here. Snyder skates over all the way around there. He loses the puck here. Mountaineers steal with possession. Martin now going to go cross ice. Snyder with it once again. Snyder going to try to center a pass there. Picked up by Martin. Martin now going to survey for an option. Plays at the top of the blue line for Lustig. Lustig tries to go back to Martin, but nice stick work there by Fryer. Snyder, top of the point, looking to switch the ice here for the Mountaineers. He takes a shot, deflected down, loose down low. Lustig can't pick that one up. Now Flashes do clear off the stick of who else? Joey Donahue tonight. Nice job by him as Flashes skating off for a quick line change. It's a penalty, just 30 seconds left here on the penalty kill for the Flashes. Mountaineers just going to hold this one in their own zone for a second. Try to get one last shift up the ice here. Katana just going to dump it in deep, looking for his team to go to work. Snyder, first man to that puck. Plays it up the boards for Dwyer. Dwyer takes a big hit there from Timmons. Nice job by him removing him from that puck. Gillespie staying hard now. Puck is chipped. Centering pass there. On the stick there. Nice save by Willock through traffic. Puck bouncing around a little bit. Katana picks this one up. Back to Katana. Penalty kill is over. One-timer there. Wide of the net there. Back to even strength are the Flashes. They kill that penalty off, but West Virginia is not done quite yet. Katana looking for an option. Top of the point here for Courtsis. Nice save there by Willock through traffic. Once again, Gillespie skates it away from danger. Kept in by Katana at the blue line. Another shot there wide of the net. Now with some space is Garnett off the box here. Now he's going to dump it in the neutral zone. Looks like we're going to get another hand pass whistle with 1:18 left to play in the second period, and much needed stoppage there for the Flashes after they kill off that penalty.
Very good penalty kill, not allowing any shots basically. So fantastic job from the Kent State penalty kill, and you hope that can build momentum into the last minute 18 of this period and then the third period as well. But good signs from that penalty kill.
Puck is down, one back to the Mountaineers. As McNamara just going to try to shovel a pass back into his own zone here. Broken up there by the Flashes. They're going to send this one deep into the West Virginia zone. Shandon, first man to that puck. He's just going to play it up the boards for McNamara. He's stick checked there. And now Nikolov going to race for this puck back in his own zone. He loses it for a split second there as Croson helps him pick that one up. Croson just going to send it the length of the ice here. Will it have enough for icing? No, it will not. So West Virginia not going to get the call there. They're going to have to break out of their own zone. Flash is looking to put on the pressure here. So we got just 40 seconds left to play in the second period. Flash is looking for one more shot at this one before they go into the break here. Turned over. Flash is with possession. Shot goes wide of the net there. Fryer picks it up in the offensive zone now. Going to try to play it up to the boards to Van Sickle. Stick check there by the West Virginia defense. Gets it out of the zone. Strutt going to rifle it in deep. Once again, 20 seconds left to play now as the clock winds down here in the second. Centering pass there. Off the stick of Quinn there. Shot. Dirk finds that one through some traffic. Can't cover it up, however. He's down. Flashes can't find possession of that puck. Another centering pass there. Off the skate of Fryer. Fryer just trying to settle this one down. He falls to a knee here. Flashes looking to keep battling here. 3 seconds left here left to play. Strutt at the top of the point here. And West Virginia clears. And that'll take us to the end of the second period with your score 3-2 in favor of the West Virginia Mountaineers. Not a bad period there from the Flashes by any means. You know, going into the intermission here down one, you know, they tied it up, and then they give up that, you know, game-leading goal there from West Virginia. Fisher, what do the Flashes really need to do coming up in this third period to really separate themselves and secure this victory?
It's contradicting because I feel like they need to slow it down in the defensive zone and take their time. But also on the flip side, they got to play quicker in the offensive zone. I think you've seen a lot of times, even at the end of that second period, Kent State, they've got the puck in the offensive zone, and then immediately a Mountaineers on them. So I think playing quicker, forcing them to get there just a second too late, therefore you have a man open at the point or a defenseman crashing down to the slot. Those chances, if you play quicker and negate away from that forecheck and back check of West Virginia, I think that's a great way to get a chance. Because we've seen both Kent State goals have kind of come out of nothing. One just off a giveaway, a loose puck, and then the other right off just a face-off. So you got to create something, and goals can come out of nothing. We've talked about it a ton. I'm a big put the puck on net kind of guy, but at some point you got to be able to create a little bit.
Absolutely, Fisher. Very well said. And as we said, Flashes down, but not out by any stretch.
100%.
And I think, you know, as you were saying, Fisher, the key for the Flashes is I would say to try to find some balance in their game. As you said, they want to speed it up, but also on the defensive end, they need to slow it down. To me, it seems like they just need a little bit more cohesion to find that balance in their game.
Yes.
A lot of times they get this puck, and it almost looks like there's nowhere to go or they can't find an option.
Specifically in the neutral zone.
Absolutely.
There's been a ton of that for both teams.
Yes.
We kind of talked about it like during intermission and stuff like that. It's just been like no one really knows what to do in the neutral zone just because there's so many bodies there, but also just like no space and just loose pucks as well. So I think cohesion is a big word, and I think it's the best word to describe how the Golden Flashes need to play. They got to play with more cohesion, like you said.
Absolutely, and this third period looming to be a large one here for the Flashes. They head into the breakdown one, and as we head into this second intermission, stay with us, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to get this third period underway in what has been an awesome game to watch so far tonight. Really back and forth tonight, and very excited to see how this one ends tonight. Flashes looking to punch back and secure this victory tonight. And Fisher, for you, as we were saying before the break, Flashes looking to find some balance in their game, looking to find some cohesion in their game, and really come together as a team and get this victory tonight. And I think it's not going to be one guy. Donahue has both goals tonight, but to come back and win this game, it's not going to be just one guy. It's going to take the whole team. It's going to take a great effort from all players tonight to get it done here tonight.
100%. I think I like the way you explained it. It is a boxing fight. It's about how will you respond to anything that happens in this game.
Puck is down, and we are underway for what should be an electric third period. As the Flashes win possession early and dump it deep into the West Virginia zone now. Picking this one up is Gillespie. He's stick checked away by Lustig. Battling for this puck along the boards now. Both teams working hard. Gillespie loses the handle on that one. Flashes back into the neutral zone. West Virginia with possession now is Martin. He's going to try to get the red line, and he does. Send it to the opposite corner. Flashes back in their own zone now, looking to retrieve this puck. Outley going to chip it up along the boards. Kept in at the blue line by Martin. Martin takes a little hit into the Flashes bench there. As Perrin now, he's got some room to work. Katana's going to step into one. His shot goes wide there off a deflection. Martin tries a shot. Deflected out in front once again there as the Flashes break out of their own zone. In the neutral zone now. Puck bouncing around. Flashes going to dump it in to the West Virginia zone here. The Mountaineers with possession and time to work. Katana now, he hits the red line. He's going to try to get it in deep. No luck for him as the Flashes are there. Flashes now with some time here, looking to break out of their own zone. West Virginia there in the neutral zone as well. Flashes now skate in. Shot there off the stick of Timmons. His shot deflected out of play. We'll get our first whistle of the third period with 18:45 left to play. Let's see where they draw this face-off up. Looks like it's going to be to the right of Hayden Dirk here. Croson at the dot versus Allen. Good to see Allen back in this game as he took that injury earlier. Good to see him back out there. Top of the point, Outley's going to play one down low for Geyer. Geyer going to play it to Croson. Croson back to Timmons. Shot deflected. Nice save there by Dirk. That puck bounced around the air for a split second there. Allen now skating out of his own zone now. He's going to do it himself for the Mountaineers. Tries a pass attempt, deflected, but right back to his stick as he lays a hit there after the whistle on Outley there. A little bit late of a hit there, but no call there from the refs.
I know we mentioned that I kind of called it right when that scuffle in the second period happened. I told you during intermission, I have a feeling that something is going to happen in terms of a fight or at least another big scuffle. And, just a little extracurriculars with the late hit there. Nothing like, not like a big hit, but still, it's, once again, just something to look out for, We have seen it, and for the people at home that haven't really heard it, but the West Virginia coaching staff and bench, very animated. So try and get some of that frustration out of them. Make them take a dumb penalty or something like that.
A little pushing and shoving after the whistle there. Once again, and there's another big hit there on the neutral zone, this time in favor of the Flashes. Let's see, looks like no whistle be called off of there. So as we're saying, Fisher, this game is really ramping up in intensity. Both teams just playing with passion. Tight checking game, bound to happen. Both teams playing with everything they got, leaving it all out on the ice, and, you have to love it as a fan of the sport.
Yes.
You absolutely have to love it. It's off the draw there, deflected into the West Virginia bench, and we'll do it again with 17:54 left to play in the third period. So West Virginia going to get a fresh line out there as this faceoff draws up just in front of their zone. Faceoff one into their zone now. Flashes with the offensive zone chance now. As McNamara picks up possession, and he gets the puck out of the zone now. Flashes back in the neutral zone. Off the face mask there of Strutt. He takes that puck off the chin there. It's Fryer just trying to clear his zone, but he can't as McNamara's there. Strutt's there to give him some help, however, as the Flashes push this one into the neutral zone. Katana going to go for the long ice pass there, looking for Valenti, but too far from him, and we will get an icing call bringing this puck right back to the West Virginia zone. Flash is going to get an offensive zone face-off here coming up. Looks like they're going to draw this one up to the right of Hayden Dirk here. Bazarov at the dot, and his opponent is Klieka. Klieka wins that battle. One back to Martin. Martin now takes a check there. In the corner boards, puck bouncing around now. Valenti tries to pick this one up. So Flashes player slow to get up there in the zone here. Puck now back to the Kent State zone now. Now with some speed, here comes Ruggles. He beats a man, chips it to himself here. Ruggles skating hard for the Flashes. He takes a tumble into the boards off a hit from McNamara. Flashes looking to give him some help here. Emmerling first man there. But Lustig picks it up and plays it over to Valenti. Valenti plays it to some open space here, and the Flashes will take advantage and pick this puck up. Nikolov, he skates through 3 defenders now. Now here comes Nikolov. He takes a shot, gloved up pretty easily there by Dirk, and he'll cover that one for a stoppage in play. Both teams going to get a line change here, get some fresh guys on this ice here for the upcoming face-off. Simpson having a nice chat with Katana there after that one. Flashes win the face-off. Shot attempt deflected out in front. Timmons going to chip it in to the far corner boards here, looking for his team to go to work. Good hit there by Quinn. As Gillespie tried a centering pass for Quinn. Now Gillespie going to play it up to the top of the point for Timmons. Timmons plays it back to Quinn. Quinn skating in. He's going to take a shot. Deflected out in front. Never sees the net of Dirk here. Back up to the top of the point. Outley going to chip it in. Going to switch position to the ice here, looking for Gillespie to win that one on the other side here. Gillespie lays a big hit into the boards there. Nice hit by him. Chip down low. Centering pass here, looking for Owley. Nice stick work there by Perrin. And in his own zone here, West Virginia going to chip one into the netting here. We'll get a stoppage in play. No delay of game penalty though. That's what I was looking for too.
I'm giving you a look right now of what the heck.
Yeah. Not sure about that.
I don't know. I mean.
I was thinking the same thing. I was kind of waiting for it.
I mean, I gave you a look of like, wait.
Face off, one back by the Flashes.
Well, most certainly an interesting no call there.
Absolutely. Shot attempt goes wide of the net there. A little too high. Croson backhanded chance there. Wide of the net once again. Fryer picks this puck up. He's going to try to skate in there. Good stick work there by Lustig for the Mountaineers. He tries a clearing pass for Donahue. Donahue tries a shot. Rebound down front. Bouncing puck here. Swept away by the West Virginia defense. Kept in at the blue line by Strutt. Strutt going to try to get it in deep. His shot is blocked. Centering pass there between the legs there. Looking for Donahue. Strutt now with tons of space. Strutt tries a shot. Gloved up through traffic by Dirk. And he will cover this one. We'll get another face-off in the West Virginia zone with 15:29 left to play in this third period.
It's a good spell of offensive zone time here for the Flashes. Keeping that puck in. And good shot. And it almost seems like West Virginia does not want to defend the point. So get the pucks to the point, let them step up a little bit, and then rip some shots on net. And as I say, pucks on net is always a good thing.
Now West Virginia breaking out of their zone, looking to go the other way quickly here. Flashes promptly back on defense. Garnett back there with Nikolov. Garnett retrieves his puck. His clearing attempt, he fans on that one. Picked up by the Flashes. Looking to chip it up the boards there. No luck there as Cortzis just chips it in back down low. Punk rolling around in the Kent State zone here. Flashes get to the center of the ice here. They're going to look to clear their zone. It's Cortzis racing back for this puck. He is pressured swiftly by Geyer. Geyer with pressure here, looking to cause a turnover, and he does. Bazarov wins possession of this puck in the offensive zone now. Geyer's with him as well. Quinn takes a shot there, deflected out in front. Off the back there, looks like a Bazarov. Nice hit there by Geyer. And now picking this one up is Bazarov. He tries to move there off the side of the net there. Mountaineers pick this one up, chip it ahead into the neutral zone, looking for Snyder to win it. Now Nikolov looking to skate around a man. He's poke checked there. Now Nikolov going to have to race back into his own zone and control this one for the Flashes. As he loses possession of the puck there for a brief moment. He's battling hard to win it back, and he does. Now chipped ahead here. 2-on-2 chance brewing here for the Flashes. Gillespie trying to make a move down low. Gillespie plays it back up the boards for Simpson. Simpson can't control it cleanly, and now racing out of their own zone. Here come the Mountaineers in the offensive zone now. Leading this rush is Dwyer. He loses possession of the puck for a split second here, and the Flashes will look to control it. Fryer slows it down. Nice work by him. He tries a centering pass for Simpson, a little too far from him, and he finds a stick of Katana, and he'll just dump it in deep once again. Willock behind his own net now. Plays it along the boards here. Looking for the Flashes to get out of their own zone. Nice stick work here. Now here comes Croson. He's skating hard here. Croson trying to centering pass for Simpson, a little behind him. Outley now picks up the puck. Croson with possession now. Croson surveying for an option. He finds Fryer. Fryer shakes off one man, centering pass. Nobody home there for the Flashes. Timmons trying to step up in this one, but the Mountaineers do clear. Flashes back in their own zone as the Mountaineers skating off for a change here. Tipped in by Timmons at the red line. Flash is going to have to go to work here as they're going to get some fresh guys on their ice of their own. Curtis now behind his own net, just going to shovel one along the boards, looking for McNamara to pick this puck up here. Flash is still threatening, squeaks out to Geyer. Geyer going to try a shot, deflected there. Another shot attempt there, broken up there. And it looks like we are going to get a penalty call here. The Flashes look like they're going to go on the power play. Timmons stepped up in that play and made a nice play there, and that hustle play caused that penalty, and that's going to get them a power play. So great job there by Dylan Timmons to force that. Oh, no, it looks like the Flashes are going to go on the – excuse me, folks, I'm sorry there. I thought that whistle was touched off of West Virginia there, but it looks like Bazarov's now in the box. So it looks like the Flashes are going to go on the penalty kill, and West Virginia actually is going to go on the power play. It looked to me as though the ref blew that whistle off a West Virginia touch, so that's why I was a little confusing there because no penalty looked really imminent, off anything, but it looks like Flashes are going to get penalized
I'm just as confused as you. Because the shot came in, I immediately thought it was a trip on West Virginia.
Because Timmons went to the ice, and that's what it looked like to me. It looks like the call was, against the Mountaineers, but evidently.
Flashes 1 for 1 on the kill, so
huge
got to
kill.
keep it that way. This is a big moment in this game.
Mountaineers now, Martin at the top of the point. Plays it down low to his man. Looking for that centering pass there. Flashes bunched up in the center of the ice there. Turn that one away. Lustig going to play one over. Shot attempt there. Blocked out in front there. Nice work by the Flashes. Penalty kill here. Diving attempt there by Donahue. He's been all over the ice tonight. Lustig going to skate in. Looking for the deflection down low. Willock finds that one through traffic. Martin going to skate up. Another shot attempt here. Nice save there by Willock. He's going to absorb that one through some traffic. We're going to stop it here with 12:08 left to play in the third period. Both teams going to skate off for a line change. Nice job so far on the Flashes penalty kill here.
Like you said, this is possibly the most crucial part of this game up to now. And the Flashes have done a great job so far, 49 seconds into the kill. But even just the commitment, you see a Flash player go down to the ice to try and block a pass or a shot. Commitment is what you need on the penalty kill, and I feel like the Flashes get a ton of that on their kill.
Absolutely. Now threatening are the Mountaineers. Mountaineers working with some space here. Katana now stalking for an option. He's going to play one over to his man at the dot here. It's going to trickle back to him. Nice stick work there to get it out of the zone there. Nice work by the Flashes defense. Alessio Simpson using the physical body there to slow that one down. Katana trying to dance in for the Mountaineers now. Nikolov there to pressure him. Katana behind his net now. Katana's going to play one up for Perrin. Perrin, he's going to try to do it himself here. He's going to slow this puck down. He can't find a man. He's going to play it over just down right across the point to Katana. Centering pass there, looking for Katana again. Flashes are there, bunched up in the center of the ice here. Doing a great job in this penalty kill. Katana at the top of the point. Plays one over to Allen. Allen's going to let a shot go. His shot's deflected off his own man, and the Flashes clear the zone there. Nice job by the Flashes on the penalty kill. And with just 7 seconds left on the penalty, we'll be back to even strength here momentarily as Mountaineers back deep into their own zone to regroup this one. And Flashes, as soon as that penalty expires, going to get an icing call. Now this puck coming right back to the West Virginia zone. So Flashes 2 for 2 on the penalty kill, and quite honestly, been excellent on the penalty kill.
Excellent. I don't think Victor Welkevian had to make a save on that penalty kill, and that's exactly what you want to see. The only thing more you'd want to see is a short end of goal.
Yeah.
But hard to come by.
Yeah.
Fantastic work on the penalty kill. I wouldn't say keeping them in the game, because if West Virginia scores there, it's a 2-goal game. We've seen the Flashes score quick goals all the time. But once again, we've talked so much in this game about responses, momentum shifts. I think that's a great way to do both of them at the same time.
Absolutely. This Flashes now getting some offensive pressure of their own here as we're back to even strength. Now Donahue skating along the boards. Up top for Timmons. He lays a one-timer. Dirk didn't see it through traffic, but he finds it there. Shoving after the play there. Ref separates that one quickly. And with 10:35 left to play in this third period, another offensive zone chance for the Flashes. Ref Refs looking like they're going to draw this one up to the left of Hayden Dirk's net here. Flashes. Good first shift there in the offensive zone after that penalty kill. Looking to do it again on this one. One back by Croson. Flashes with possession. Fryer with some space. He lets a shot go. Turned away there by Dirk. Valenti now trying to clear the zone here, and he does. Pass too far from McNamara, so Flashes collect here. Dump it in deep off the stick of Gavin Fryer. Shannon first man back, but Fryer wins it back for the Flashes. Centering pass there by Donahue. Back up top to the point for Timmons. Timmons with the centering pass down low. Nothing there. Is McNamara going to skate ahead 2-on-2 here coming up the ice. McNamara hits the red line. He's in the offensive zone for the Mountaineers. Centering pass for Valenti. That's blocked off of Flash's defender. Going for the wraparound attempt. Puck is still loose there. Willock point blank here. Another great save by him. Dangerous chance there for the Mountaineers. Flash is still surviving here. Flash is behind their own net, just trying to get out of their zone. Nice work here by Bazarov here. Kind of taking him up the ice himself here. But he's poke checked by Valenti. Now Bazarov finds the puck on his stick off a turnover here. Bazarov dancing around a few defenders. That shot gloved up by Dirk once again. We'll get another stoppage here as we're officially past the halfway point in this third period. 9:36 left to play in this one.
Seems like this third period's flown by. Been very free-flowing. Sorry, excuse me. But we talked so much about the first period kind of just being all tight and compact, and then second period really opened up, then closed again. This period seems way more free-flowing for both teams, specifically the Flashes on the rush and on-man rushes and half chances almost. So it's good to see for the Flashes.
Van Sickle's shot attempt broken up, and now Dwyer wins possession of the puck. 2-on-2 chance here building. Easy save there for Willock as he just gloves that one. But that will get us a stoppage of play, and the puck will be staying in the Kent State zone. Offensive zone face-off coming up for the Mountaineers. Looks like West Virginia skating off for a line change here before this upcoming zone face-off for them. Puck down, one back to the Mountaineers now. Flashes looking to win possession and get going the other way. Puck trickles out in favor of the Flashes. Nice connecting pass there. Now here comes Quinn. 2-on-2 chance here from the Flashes. Quinn skates in. His shot just wide of the net there. Good look from him. Puck trickles all the way around the boards now. West Virginia picks it up in the neutral zone. Katana skating in now. He's deflected off the puck by Strutt. Players take a collision in the center of the ice here. Both teams. Player going down there. Katana going to hit the red line. And now he's going to just dump it in deep here. Looking for Perrin to go to work in the corner boards. The Flashes are there defensively. Lustig, he's going to center pass for Katana. Nice save there by Willock, finding that one off that centering pass. Good save from him. Another offensive zone chance here for the Mountaineers. Flashes looking to just get this one out of their own zone. 8:34 left to play in this third period. Minutes winded down here. Flashes, plenty of time here, but the clock not in their favor. Just down one here. Just looking for that answer to tie this one up. Shot there, gloved up by Bullock once again here, and we'll do it again. Looks like they're going to draw this face-off up to the left of Victor Willock. Puck is down, one back to the Flashes now. Nikolov going to just shovel one ahead for Donahue. Donahue clearing attempt, broken up along the boards here. Flash is going to have to go back to work and try to get this puck out here. Donahue with possession. Nikolov picks it up off of his stick. Now here come the Flashes. They hit the red line. Bringing this one in is Fryer. Fryer going to dump it in deep. Fryer still skating hard here. Mountaineers pick up possession now, and Snyder looking to break out of his own zone. He connects on a pass there. Now Mountaineers dump it in deep into the Kent State zone. Willock well out behind his own net, slowing that one down for his own team. Flash is skating hard. Now here comes Fryer. He's been very noticeable on this shift, skating really hard here for the Flashes. Now here comes Snyder now into the offensive zone. He lets a shot go, deflected there, and up and out of play off the body of Outley. We'll get a face-off in the Kent State zone with 7:40 left to play in this third period. Face-off at the left dot here. Puck is down. Mountaineers win possession. Flash is skating hard here. Flash chip it ahead into the neutral zone. Mountaineers send it right back the other way, but Flashes win it in the neutral zone once again. Now they skate in cleanly here. Bazarov looking to set something up for Kent State here. He's going to play it over to McDermott. McDermott top of the point here looking for Timmons. Back down low to McDermott. McDermott can't find it under his skates here. Now Mountaineers off the turnover with possession. Just going to dump it in deep once again. Outley in his own zone going to play it along the boards here. Looking for McDermott to win this one. Flashes battling hard for this puck right in front of their own bench. Mountaineers keep it in the zone here. Now Kent State with a little room to skate here. McDermott going to shovel one ahead, looking for Geyer. Geyer just going to dump this one in deep in the West Virginia zone here. Valenti picks this one up for the Mountaineers, and they cleanly break out of their own zone off the stick of Listitian. Now Listitian in the offensive zone. He lets a shot go. Willock turns that one away easily. Flashes looking to get going the other way as West Virginia skates off for a line change here. And now here come the Flashes across the red line. Dumped in deep by Van Sickle. Van Sickle looking for Gillespie to win this one. Gillespie tied up deep and behind the net here. He's on the ice still covered up under this puck. Gillespie trying to get up here. Can't get up through a crowd of people here. And the ref will blow the whistle as that puck won't move. Believe it's under Gillespie here, so the ref will blow that play dead. With 6:14 left to play in the third period.
I haven't said much this third period. I'm not going to lie. It just seems like neither team, but mainly the Flashes, have been able to get any sort of puck control and just consistent just ability to just control the puck and stuff like that. So it's been really tough in this third period. And it's flown by, too. Not a ton of stoppages. So at some point, the Flashes are going to have to get some sort of puck control in the offensive zone.
Nikolov is going to dump this one in deep for the Flashes. Ruggles centering pass here, looking for Emmerling. Just past his stick, and now McNamara breaking out of the West Virginia zone. He's stick checked right in the neutral zone here, but finds possession of this puck through some traffic and dumps it in deep. Willock controls this one up the boards for Emmerling. Now Emmerling, he's skating hard here. Emmerling trying to get it deep for the Flashes. Emmerling loses the stick for a split second here. Tries to dump it in deep. West Virginia controls now and squeezes that one out of their own zone. Now Valenti in the neutral zone plays it back in his own zone. Looking for Napoli to win possession here, and they do. West Virginia now looking to get up the ice. They're just going to dump it in deep here and go off for another change here as they wean down the seconds here. Almost 5 minutes left to play in this one. Flashes looking to go a little quicker here. Now here comes Croson skating up the ice. Croson into the corner boards. He's checked hard, and now the puck's tied up in the corner here. Fryer going to try a pass there. Nobody home for the Flashes. And now Snyder, he's got some room to work. 2-on-2 chance here building for the Mountaineers as Snyder overskates that puck and loses possession. Picked up by Katana. Now Katana circles into the dot here. He lets a shot go wide of the net there off his stick. Martin at the blue line here. Plays a pass down low for Lustig. His shot attempt deflected. Centering chance there for Snyder. Nothing there. Is Martin going to try a shot? Also clogged up in the defensive lane by the Flashes. Timmons lost his glove there, so we will get a whistle here, as well as a hand pass here. So good whistle there for the Flashes. And under 5 minutes left to play now. 4:42 left to play in this third period. Time winding down for Kent State. They're going to have to look to get going quickly here.
And you wonder if they get that consistent offensive zone time, will they even pull Victor Willock, get the extra skater out there?
And as you said, the key to that is getting that consistent offensive zone pressure, something that's been hard to come by in this game for the Flashes. They've had their chances, they've scored, but the consistent pressure has been hard to come by. So, looking to really build something, connect on a few passes here, give them time to pull Willock.
I know we talked about it a little bit, but both Kent State Flashes goals have kind of come out of nothing a little bit, and you want to see more sustained time.
Now Allen crossed the red line, skating it in for the Mountaineers into the offensive zone here. He tries to make a move around Outley. Outley there with him step for step here. Flashes looking to break out here. Now skating with some speed. Here come the Flashes. Simpson going to do it himself here. He skates in. Simpson loses the stick for a quick second there. Big hit there by Gillespie. Nice hit there by Quinn once again. Now here comes Snyder at the red line. Snyder skates it in. He makes a nice move. Snyder skating in, backhanded chance wide of the net there. No chance for him. Puck deflected loose off the top of the net there, off Willock. Kent State looking to just get out of their own zone. Looking to connect to a pass to Quinn. Can't do that. Lestitian now skates it in. Lestitian He's got to go to the right dot. He takes a shot turned away there off the blocker of Victor Willock. Flashes deep in their own zone now. 3:30 left to play in this one. Puck still loose in the Golden Flash zone as they scoop this one up and chip it along the boards, up and out of their own zone now. Geyer trying to pressure here in the neutral zone. He's got some help from his teammates. Nice move there by Bazarov to skate around some defenders. He's going to play it back up top to McDermott. He's going to play it to Van Sickle. Van Sickle to Strut. He lets a shot go. Deflected loose down front and picked up by Dirk through some traffic here with 3:11 left to play in this third period. Time winding down, but an offensive zone face-off here for the Flash is still a little too early, in my opinion, to pull Willock. Doesn't appear that they will.
I agree, but I also think this is a must-win face-off.
Yes.
I think because, like we've said, if you want to start the good zone time, you got to win the face-off. And
as the Flashes lose that face-off, Martin picks that one up. He does enough to chip it out of his own zone. Nikolov going to send it back in, but offside warning there. Slows the Flashes down for a split second. McNamara now, he's skating hard to the red line. He loses possession of the puck. Flashes skating hard for this one. McNamara going to turn and send it deep into the Kent State zone for an icing whistle. So this puck coming back into the West Virginia zone. Flashes get another offensive zone face-off here as this time winds down, and they'll take everyone they can get at this point. Croson calling his shot. He's calling for this puck to be placed at the right, the right of Hayden Dirk here. He's got control over this one. Nice job by Croson to get possession for a split second there. West Virginia defense promptly on that one. Now Valenti skating it up ahead. He's going to dump it in deep into the Kent State zone. Nikolov, first man back. He picks that puck up. He's going to play it over to his teammate. Flash is looking to break out of their zone here, but a little too far on that pass as Martin gets possession now. Martin going to play it up to Lustig. Willock going to slow it down for Nikolov. Nikolov, backhanded pass there for Gillespie. Gillespie collects on a nice pass there to Fryer. Fryer now hits the red line. He skates around a few defenders. Fryer skating hard off his stick now. Possession still with the Flashes. Garnett going to try a shot. That shot wide of the net there. Gillespie, nice job tying up this puck here. Katana lost his stick here. Still doesn't have one. Fryer lays a nice hit there. Nice job there by Donahue. Shot attempt there off the stick of Gillespie. Turned away by Dirk. Top of the point is Garnett. Garnett going to let a shot go. Puck loose down low. Battling for possession here. Flash is battling here. Puck still loose here. Swept away there by the West Virginia defense here. Gillespie keeps it in at the blue line. Garnett shot. Looking for the deflection off the stick of Donahue. Nikolov now skating it in down low. Gets it behind the net here. 1:30 left to play.
Willock's
Willock
going
off the bench. Flashes with the extra man here. Nikolov going to turn a shot. Shot deflected. Puck is loose down low. Battling for the puck. Whistle finally blown. We're going to get a scrum after the whistle here. A pile of players after the whistle here. Pulling players off the pile here. And now Nikolov is going at it with Perrin. Breaking them up. Screaming from both benches here. Wow. This one is really coming down to the wire.
Yes.
I don't have any words. Wow.
I had one eye on offensive zone and another eye of when Victor Willock was going to leave his net because the Flashes, that's the best zone time they've had all game. And on one hand, good, you're pushing for the equalizer, but you're wondering where was this earlier. Really good save, though.
Yeah.
So
That puck bouncing around there, trying to find that through a scramble of players. Wow. 1:23 left to play in this one. Flash is still down one, looking for that equalizer late in this game. Looks like Flash is going to take their timeout here. Going to discuss the play here with Willock out of the net and the extra attacker on for Kent State. Coach wants to draw up a play here and devise a plan, see if they can tie this one up. What a game. This has been a pleasure to call, Fisher.
it has been
Still a little
fun
stunned
game.
from that last
Yeah.
possession there. Just, wow. Yeah, this has been a pleasure to call. It's been a fun one.
Despite not getting that extra stare, I do like the call of not having Victor Willock out of the net yet, just because it has been tough for the Flashes to, establish offensive zone time on a consistent base. And
And it looks like they're going to move this puck outside of the West Virginia zone.
I don't know. It kind of seemed like Dirk had the puck covered, but
You're not sure about that one either. Flashes win possession. Timmons gets the red line, going to dump it deep. And now Willock racing off to the bench here. Extra attacker on. Flashes have to win possession here. Snyder going to try to ship it along the boards. Deflected, out of play. We'll get a whistle here. Minute 12 left to play in the third period. Flash is going to get an offensive zone faceoff here. Let's see, Willock on the ice. Let's see if he'll stay on the bench. Yeah, he is going to stay on the bench. So Flashes will start this possession with the extra attacker on because it's crunch time now for Kent State.
oh yeah.
Flashes willing their team on here in the last minute. And now here we go. Strutt plays it up to the top of the point for Croson. Garnett shot over, deflected out in front. Never sees the net of Dirk. Geyer gets possession here as we got less than a minute to play here. Strutt on the one-timer, deflected just wide of the net there. Now Croson with possession, going to shovel it down low. Both teams battling hard here. Everything on the line in this one. Kept in by Garnett. Garnett going to play some space here. Garnett going to turn, try to leave a pass here, going to shovel it down low, looking for Fryer to win this one. He's going to shovel one along with Geyer. Geyer tries a centering pass, nothing there. Fryer, top of the point for Croson, shot there, turned away by Dirk. Fryer chips one ahead here to Croson. Croson back to Fryer, 25 seconds left to play. Croson lets one go, deflected just high of the net there of Dirk. Flash is running out of time. Chip down low, puck loose here, puck loose out in front. Dirk doesn't have possession. Garnett skates out, puck trickles out. Just too far for Strutt here. Strutt trying to get possession here. Donahue centering pass there, backhanded chance there, off the stick of Geyer, nothing there. And Mountaineers clear the zone with 5 seconds left. Snyder just wide of the empty net, but no matter, as this game will expire. And Kent State drops this one with the final score of 3-2 as West Virginia comes in and secures the victory. Heartbreaking loss. That's a tough one for the Flashes. That last possession, I really feel like they gave everything they had there and just couldn't come away with it. Just tough one to swallow here for Kent State.
Very tough. And I think the last 5 minutes of this game, you saw how good Kent can be in the offensive zone and all that. It's just one of those where, not to like be such a burden and be hard on them, but where was it early in the game, right after you scored? You know, you start the game out of a cannon. And just, West Virginia gets punched in the face. And like you said, all about responses. And
absolutely.
West Virginia, 2 quick punches. Kent State punches back. 1 more. Kent State just couldn't find that final punch.
As you said, Fisher, Flashes fall to 6-5-2 after tonight's game. And good news for the Flashes here is this weekend stand isn't over. West Virginia won't be here tomorrow, but the Flashes doubleheader tomorrow. D1 and D3 playing tomorrow. D3 getting the later slate with a 7:30 start time. IUP coming to town. And as we mentioned, D1, I wanted to give a quick shout out to them. They're coming off a 10-1 victory at Mercyhurst, and they'll be back here home at the Kent State Ice Arena playing the first game. Oh, and it looks like a little bit after the game here, players having some words here. Players having some words here after the game. It's been this game boiled over. It's blowing over here. Wow. This one was intense, folks. This one was absolutely intense, and both teams having some words after the play here. Didn't mean to cut ourselves off here, but that situation kind of transpired out of nowhere. So just wanted to address that screaming if you heard it for anybody here at home.
and kind of like what we talked about, the whole game, it was kind of just a lot of, maybe 5 minutes in, you get a hot mic.
Well, as we said, Flashes drop a tough one here tonight.
Just couldn't find that final punch. And, and they almost got it. Dirk, give credit to him.
Yes.
Fantastic saves there at the end.
Save.
But just, it's a tough one, but
not much you could do.
Not much.
At this point, you got to just forget it.
Especially in that last minute. You threw like you said, they threw everything you had at it.
That was the kitchen sink right there. That was everything they had. So, rinse and repeat for the Flashes, Lose that one, but like I said, they have an opportunity tomorrow night to come in here against a new team, 7:30 p.m., learn from tonight's game, correct what they didn't love about tonight's game, and come out tomorrow and even the slate for the weekend.
Yep.
Well, a fantastic game here to call from the broadcasting booth Absolute pleasure. Thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight and everyone that showed up today here physically at the Kent State Ice Arena. And as we said, tomorrow we got a doubleheader on the slate. D1 Kent State at 4:30 versus IUP, and the D3 team at 7:30 immediately after the D1 game finishes. Going to play IUP as well. So a lot of good hockey coming up tomorrow. We encourage everyone to tune into the broadcast, or if you can make it out, stop by the Kent State Ice Arena and at least catch one, if not both of the games. We'll be on the call for those games tomorrow night. It's been an absolute pleasure. My name is Alex Rivera. Been joined all night by my wonderful partner, Fisher Brashear. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.